Have you ever caught yourself staring at your shoe rack, wondering why something that used to be so simple, slipping on a pair of shoes, now feels like a gamble with your comfort? Maybe you've felt that quiet ache after a short walk, or noticed that tiny wobble when you step off a curb. You brush it off thinking, "I'm just getting older," but let me tell you, your feet are sending you signals, and the shoes we wear after 60 can either protect us or quietly rob us of the freedom we've earned. I know. Nobody talks about this at the family dinner table. Nobody pulls you aside at retirement and says, "Hey, by the way, those shoes you've loved for decades? They might be the reason your knees hurt, or why your balance isn't quite what it used to be." But here's the truth. Certain shoes are slowly, sneakily taking away the golden years we've worked so hard for. And it's not about vanity or fashion. It's about preserving the gift of movement, independence, and confidence with every step. That's why today, we're having a heart-to-heart about what's really under our feet. We'll uncover the 8 hidden shoe mistakes that could be stealing your strength, balance, and safety. And I'll share 3 powerful solutions that can change the way you move through life, starting today. Because you deserve to walk into your future feeling steady, secure, and strong. Let's begin with something so common. You probably own a pair right now. Those old sneakers you've loved since before your grandkids were born. You know the ones. They've molded perfectly to your feet. They're soft, familiar, and they feel like an old friend. But here's the thing. Sneakers, like anything, wear out. And what feels comfortable can actually be disguising worn-out soles that no longer cushion or support you. Every step in shoes that have lost their structure adds strain to your knees, hips, and lower back, and increases your risk of trips and falls. It's not the visible holes or scuffed toes you need to worry about. It's the silent breakdown inside the midsole, the part you can't see. Studies show that after about 500 miles of walking, most sneakers lose their shock absorption. That means even if you're just walking to the mailbox every day, within a couple of years, those shoes could be doing more harm than good. I'm not saying you have to throw them out today, but next time you slip them on, pay attention to how your feet, knees, and back feel afterward. If you notice aches that weren't there before, it might be time for an upgrade. And speaking of upgrades, let's talk about those cute but slippery slippers so many of us love around the house. Soft, cozy, and easy to slide into, right? But that convenience comes with a hidden danger. Slippers without sturdy soles or proper grip can turn even a trip to the kitchen into a fall hazard. I've heard too many stories of friends who took a simple tumble on tile or hardwood floors, all because their slippers didn't have enough traction. You might think, "Oh, I'm careful, I won't fall." But falls don't ask permission. They happen in an instant. And one slip can mean months of recovery, or worse. If you've ever felt your foot slide unexpectedly on the floor, or if you've had to catch yourself from losing balance while wearing slippers, take that as your sign. There are incredible slippers out there now with non-slip rubber soles, arch support, and snug fits that stay on your feet instead of sliding off. It's a small swap that makes a huge difference, especially if you're the type who's always popping into the kitchen or stepping out to grab the mail without changing shoes. Now, let's touch on something many of us don't even realize we're doing: sticking with shoes that are too narrow, too tight, or don't allow room for the natural swelling that happens in our feet as we age. If your shoes leave deep red marks on your skin, or if you find yourself kicking them off the moment you get home because your feet feel pinched or cramped, your shoes are quietly hurting you. Over time, tight shoes can cause bunions, hammer toes, nerve pain, and poor circulation, leading to more than just discomfort. They can alter your gait, affecting your balance and posture, which increases fall risk and joint pain down the line. You deserve better than squeezing into shoes that once fit perfectly, but no longer serve you. Your feet change over the years, and honoring those changes isn't giving up, it's leveling up. There's no prize for sticking with old sizes or old styles that no longer fit your life. And believe me, once you switch to footwear that truly fits, supports, and respects your feet, you'll wonder why you waited so long. Now that we've taken a closer look at the hidden risks in those familiar favorites, let's keep going deeper, because what we put on our feet is shaping our golden years, one step at a time. I know. It's a lot to take in, isn't it? Who knew that something as small as the shoes we wear could ripple out into so many areas of our health and independence? But it's true. And the more we talk about it, the more empowered we become to make choices that protect our bodies, our balance, and our freedom. Let's keep going, because there's another type of shoe lurking in many closets that deserves attention. Those backless slip-ons and flip-flops we tend to grab on warm days, or for quick errands. You know the ones. They're easy to kick on, they feel airy and light, and they seem harmless. But here's the catch. Every time you wear a shoe without a back or heel support, your foot has to work harder with each step just to keep the shoe on. That means your toes are gripping more, your ankle is doing extra balancing, and your gait subtly changes to compensate. Over time, that leads to fatigue, strain on your tendons, and a higher risk of tripping, especially on uneven ground. Get it? They're convenient. They're comfortable in the moment. But ask yourself, are they really worth the trade-off if they're stealing your stability? Because at our age, every step counts. And falls don't just bruise your skin, they bruise your confidence. And once that confidence is shaken, we start avoiding movement, skipping activities, and shrinking the world we once enjoyed so freely. That's why swapping those backless shoes for options with proper heel support can be such a powerful step. Doesn't have to mean giving up style or ease, but finding that sweet spot where function and comfort work together to keep you steady on your feet. And when you find that pair that feels supportive yet soft, that hugs your heel while letting your toes relax, you'll feel the difference, not just in your feet, but in your whole posture. And while we're here, let's talk about high heels. Yes, even the low ones many women still enjoy for special occasions. I know, they can make an outfit feel complete. They carry memories of confidence and elegance. But the reality is, heels, even small ones, shift your center of gravity forward, putting more pressure on the balls of your feet and throwing your alignment off. Over time, this leads to issues in the knees, hips, and lower back, and makes it harder to recover balance if you stumble. I'm not saying never wear them again, but choosing when and where to wear heels becomes part of protecting your body as you age. Maybe save them for sitting events or swap into more supportive shoes when it's time to move around more. There's freedom in knowing you're not limited. You're just making thoughtful choices about what your feet carry you through. And here's another hidden culprit: shoes that don't provide arch support. It's sneaky because sometimes a shoe feels cushy or soft, but underneath, it's offering no real structure. And as our arches flatten naturally with age, the lack of support leads to pain in the plantar fascia, heel spurs, and alignment problems that echo all the way up through the knees and hips. If you've ever felt that sharp heel pain when you first step out of bed in the morning, that could be your arch calling out for help. The good news? Supportive insoles or shoes designed with built-in arch support can work wonders, often within days. It's like giving your feet a hug from below, lifting them gently into better alignment, reducing strain, and helping every step feel more effortless. And you deserve effortless, friend. You deserve comfort that doesn't ask you to trade safety for style. So as we've explored these different shoe traps, from worn-out sneakers to slippery slippers, from backless shoes to heels and unsupportive flats, I hope you're starting to feel more aware of the quiet ways our footwear shapes not just our steps, but our quality of life. Because every step adds up. Every walk to the mailbox, every grocery trip, every stroll with the grandkids. It's all part of staying engaged, active, and independent. And we're not stopping here. There's more to uncover, more ways to protect those precious feet that carry you through this beautiful season of life. Stay with me, because the right solutions can truly change everything. You're still with me, and that tells me something powerful. You care about protecting your health, your independence, and your freedom to move confidently through every season of life. And honestly, that mindset alone puts you ahead of the curve. So let's keep building on that momentum, because we've uncovered some of the biggest footwear culprits already. But there are still more sneaky traps to watch out for. One of the most overlooked? Shoes that are too tight or too loose. I know it sounds simple, right? But here's the thing. As we age, our feet change. The tissues lose elasticity, the arches may fall a little, and even our shoe size can shift by half a size or more. Yet many of us keep wearing the same size we've worn for decades, assuming it hasn't changed. Or we fall into the trap of buying what's available, even if it doesn't fit quite right. But here's why it matters so much. Shoes that are too tight can cut off circulation, aggravate bunions, or cause painful calluses and corns. And shoes that are too loose, they create friction, leading to blisters, sliding, and unstable footing. Every misstep increases your fall risk. And it's not just about physical injury. It's about the mental toll that fear of falling takes. The way it can make you hesitate before doing things you once loved. It's not just about buying a safe shoe. It's about getting the right fit for your feet today. And if that means getting your feet measured again at a shoe store, or trying on a few different widths to find that perfect hug, it's worth every second. Because when your shoe fits well, you don't have to think about it. You can just walk and trust that every step is supported. Now let's talk about those fashion sneakers we see everywhere these days. They look sporty, they look casual, but many of them are missing the key features that actually make a sneaker protective. Some are just canvas and rubber, with no arch support, no heel stability, and thin soles that wear down fast. They might be fine for a quick coffee run, but if you're walking on sidewalks, uneven grass, or standing for long stretches, they're not giving your feet the foundation they need. It's tricky, because they look like a smart choice at first glance. But without cushioning, without grip, without real structure, they can quietly contribute to joint pain, plantar fasciitis, and fatigue that makes you stop moving sooner than you'd like. That's why it's worth checking what's inside the shoe, not just how it looks on the outside. And speaking of inside, here's another hidden saboteur. Shoes that have lost their support over time. Maybe you bought a great pair years ago. Solid, arch support, cushioned sole, great fit. But even the best shoes break down with use. The cushioning flattens, the sole loses traction, the insole wears thin. And here's the sneaky part. It happens so gradually, we don't notice until we're feeling more aches, more slips, more fatigue. It's like a pillow you've used for years. At first it feels normal, until you finally replace it and realize just how much support you were missing. Our shoes work the same way. That's why checking the bottoms for worn tread, feeling the insole for flattening, or even noticing if the shoe leans when set on a flat surface. Those little checks can save you from the big problems down the line. I know replacing a favorite shoe can feel like saying goodbye to an old friend, but your feet deserve friends who still do their job, who still lift you up, cushion you, and help. You feel secure with every stride, and maybe you're wondering right now, but what can I do if I already have these shoes in my closet? Do I have to throw them all out? The answer, thankfully, is no. Sometimes a supportive insole can breathe new life into a favorite pair. Sometimes a visit to a shoe repair shop can adjust fit or add grip. And sometimes, yes, it's time for a replacement, but one chosen with wisdom, not fear. Because you're not just shopping for shoes, you're investing in the next chapters of your life, the hikes you'll take, the grandkids you'll chase, the neighborhoods you'll explore. Every step is a step toward more freedom, more joy, more adventure. And that's why I'm so passionate about this topic. Not because shoes are trivial, but because they're foundational. They're the quiet partner under every journey we take. And when we give them the attention they deserve, we give ourselves the gift of movement without limits. There's still more to explore, more ways to turn those risks into opportunities for strength and safety. Stay with me, because small changes really can unlock big transformations. It's funny, isn't it? How something as ordinary as a pair of shoes can carry such a big impact. We wear them every day without thinking. But when they're wrong for us, our bodies never stop feeling it. And that brings me to something I see all too often. Slippers. Cozy, soft, familiar slippers that feel like home. And yet they're quietly working against you. You see, most slippers aren't designed with stability in mind. They're meant for lounging, not living. Thin soles, loose fit, no grip on the bottom. They're inviting falls, especially on smooth floors like tile or hardwood. And if you've ever shuffled across the kitchen only to slip a little, you know that heart-stopping moment. Imagine what would have happened if you'd fallen all the way. I get it, nobody wants to give up that comfort. But here's the good news. You don't have to choose between cozy and safe. There are slippers, made with rubber soles, firm heel cups, and even arch support built in. It's not about trading comfort for caution. It's about upgrading to something that loves your feet as much as you do. And speaking of love, let's talk about high heels. I know. Maybe you've already retired them, or maybe they're sitting in a box for special occasions. But if you're still tempted to wear them, even just once in a while, hear me out. High heels shift your weight forward, forcing your toes to carry more load, putting pressure on the balls of your feet and shortening the Achilles tendon over time. They can throw off your balance, strain your knees, and make every step a little less steady. And after 60, the stakes of one misstep grow higher. A small stumble in heels that might have been funny at 30 can lead to a serious injury at 70. I'm not saying you can never wear something dressy again, but choosing a lower heel, a wedge, or a block heel instead of a thin stiletto can keep you standing tall and stable. You can still turn heads without risking your health. And honestly, confidence isn't in the heel height. It's in the way you walk into a room knowing you're steady and strong. Now let's peek inside something we rarely think about: sandals. Those easy slip-ons we love in warm weather. They're breezy, they're simple, but if they're flat, flimsy, or without back straps, they're quietly inviting problems. A sandal without arch support can worsen plantar fasciitis. A sandal without a back strap makes your toes work overtime to grip and keep the shoe on, leading to overuse injuries and imbalance. And if you've ever felt your sandal slip as you stepped off a curb, that momentary wobble could have been much worse. It's why podiatrists recommend sandals with ankle straps, contoured footbeds, and non-slip soles. It doesn't mean giving up style. It just means choosing style that stands with you, not against you. Because the truth is, we're not trying to hold on to youth by pretending we're 25. We're embracing the wisdom, the lessons, the resilience that come with every passing year, and we deserve tools that support that strength. Every step should feel like a celebration of the life you've walked so far, and an investment in the journey still ahead. I love thinking about it that way. Like your shoes aren't just shoes. They're companions for your next adventure. Whether that's a stroll through the park or dancing at your granddaughter's wedding. And isn't that what we're really protecting here? The ability to keep showing up, keep moving, keep living fully, without pain, without fear, without limits. Let's keep going, because there's one more thing I want you to know before we wrap up. This next piece, it's the missing puzzle for so many people who thought they'd already tried everything. So here's what most people overlook, even when they've swapped out the slippers, the heels, the flimsy sandals. It's the insoles inside their shoes. You know that feeling when you slip your foot into a shoe that should fit perfectly, but something still feels off. Maybe it's a little pressure under the ball of your foot. Maybe your arch feels like it's collapsing by the afternoon, or your heel's getting sore with every step. That's your foot quietly telling you, hey, I need a little help here. Our feet change as we age. Tendons stretch, arches flatten, padding under the heel thins out. And those changes? They don't always play nicely with factory-made, one-size-fits-all shoe inserts. Even the cushioned ones built into comfort. Shoes often aren't enough. I can't tell you how many seniors I've spoken to who said, I thought my shoes were fine, until I tried custom or supportive insoles. I didn't realize how much my feet had been compensating all these years. And that's the thing. When your feet overcompensate, the stress ripples upward. Knees, hips, lower back. It's all connected. The solution doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. There are over-the-counter orthopedic insoles designed for different foot types and issues. Whether you need more arch support, heel cushioning, or alignment correction, there's an option out there. Even swapping them every 6 to 12 months can extend the life of your shoes and the comfort of your steps. Imagine waking up tomorrow, sliding into your sneakers and realizing that familiar ache is gone. That walking feels like gliding instead of dragging. That's the gift supportive insoles can give you. And honestly, it's a small investment for a giant return. The ability to walk farther, stand longer, and move through life with less pain. Now, I want to bring this all together with something really powerful. Because while it's easy to talk about shoes as individual choices, no heels, better slippers, supportive sandals, it's really about something bigger, protecting your independence. Every time we reduce fall risks, we protect your freedom to live the way you choose. Every time we ease foot pain, we protect your ability to keep moving, to explore, to connect. Every time we make a footwear decision that prioritizes health over style, or finds a beautiful balance of both, we're reinforcing the message that your body is worth caring for every single day. And isn't that what this chapter of life is all about? Not giving up the things we love, but finding smarter, gentler, more thoughtful ways to keep enjoying them. Whether it's gardening, dancing, strolling through the farmer's market, or playing with grandkids, it all starts from the ground up. Literally. I hope this conversation has sparked some ideas. Maybe you're already eyeing a pair of old shoes thinking, you know what? It's time. Or maybe you've realized a little upgrade here or there could unlock a whole new level of comfort and confidence. But before we wrap up, there's one more piece I want to share, the part that really transforms everything we've talked about today into daily action. And that last piece is simply this: don't wait until pain or a fall forces you to change. I know it's easy to think, my shoes are fine for now. But the truth is, small aches today can become big limitations tomorrow. And the smallest tweaks, switching out a worn pair, adding an insole, choosing shoes with better grip, can add up to something so much bigger than comfort. It's your mobility, your freedom, your peace of mind. I've seen it firsthand in people I love. My neighbor, Margaret, she's 78, always on the go, fiercely independent. A few years back, she had a nasty fall on a slick kitchen floor. Nothing broken, thank goodness, but she started losing confidence in her steps. After that, she swapped out her old slippers for grippy, supportive ones, upgraded her sneakers with cushioned soles, got a recommendation for proper sandals from her podiatrist now. You'd never know she had that scare. She's back to her morning walks, tending to her garden, even chasing after her dog without hesitation. And she always tells me, I didn't think it mattered until it did. That's why I want you to feel empowered, not overwhelmed. It's not about tossing every shoe in your closet or spending a fortune on orthopedic brands. It's about noticing the signs. The worn-out tread, the flattened cushioning, the stiff soles that don't flex anymore. And taking one small step at a time toward choices that support you, not just today, but for the adventures still ahead. Because let's be honest, your golden years aren't about slowing down. They're about showing up fully, about laughing louder, walking farther, living deeper. And every time you choose shoes that honor your body's needs, you're saying yes to more of that. So here's what I invite you to do today. Take a peek at the shoes you wear most. Flip them over, check the soles. Press your thumb into the insole. Does it still bounce back or has it flattened? Look at the heel. Any uneven wear? Even just becoming aware of these signs is a powerful first step. And if you've already made some changes, celebrate them. You're doing something incredible for yourself. Before I let you go, I want to thank you for sharing this time with me. It means the world that you're here, choosing to invest in your health, your happiness, and your journey forward. If you found this video helpful, I'd love it if you gave it a thumbs up. It really helps more people find this information. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so we can keep having these heart-to-heart conversations about staying strong, healthy, and joyful at every age. And don't forget, if you've had a favorite pair of shoes, a footwear tip, or even a story about how the right shoes changed your life, share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Here's to every confident step ahead, every adventure waiting to be walked into, and to living your best life. From the ground up, see you next time.